Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your host, the Balanced Blue RJ, joined by my other fellow co-host, Scott the Gooner. Unfortunately, we're not joined by our third regular co-host, Robbie the Red Devil. Thank God for some, I think, but Robbie is at the Matildas game supporting the mighty Aussies who are currently battling with Canada 1-1 at the moment at the new Allianz Stadium. Scott, how you feeling? You're feeling a little bit humbled?
Next question, brother. Next question. You know what?
Far out, mate, I tell you.
We put out all the stops tonight. We pushed the kickoff time for the show back. I have hidden off, or as I'm saying it, I can already see someone backstage. We have put obviously the link to jump on stream. Mm-hmm. I'll never hide. I don't hide, mate. I'm not built soft. If you want to jump in, you want to have a chat, you want to make some comments. The link is there, pinned at the top of the live chat. There's already someone waiting. You can probably guess who it is. We might just miss his. But we will bring in people a little bit later on in the show. But I'm doing all right, RJ. You know, mate, football, Father's Day. It's the missus' birthday today. And look, you're getting the gift of my time. But how are you, man?
Yeah, well, massive shout out to Mrs. Scott, Katrina, the lovely, my favourite Borg, I have to say. And you know what? It is a privilege that you are able to join us this evening. And look, for me, needless to say, very happy, very relieved, Blue in the house tonight. We're going to go through all of that VAR out controversy, of course, because there's lots to unpack, lots of big results, a few stalemates along the way, the return of the famous Champions League, including for myself, 2:45 a.m. kickoff, and never sleep for the wicked here. But we've got a lot to go through, Scott, and I believe we've got a few people in the house.
Yep. Look, Daniel's here at the moment. Can only see Daniel with the update. It's getting close.
Chipping away.
We've got Declared here. If anyone says no, Declared, you know me, mate. You know I'm man up. I'm here. And where's Rob? Rob's at the Matildas game, and Sammy from In a League of Its Own. I was looking at his Instagram today. I was so tempted to buy something. I might be hitting you up for DM. I don't think there's anyone else in the live chat. Certainly no Manchester United fans. Tom might be here. Yeah, we'll quickly chuck that up. Justin might be here. Yep, just have a quick read of that. Someone's here who should be here but isn't here. And my man Geordie, he's one of the good ones. Geordie. There's not many. Nice to see you. And then we've got this guy. Just quickly, going to bring someone in very quickly to say hello. Robbie, you should be watching the game, mate.
Hey, the boys. How we going, Scotty?
So good, mate.
Wind him up, Robbie. Wind him up. What jersey are you wearing, Robbie? I think we all know what it is. There we go.
Mate. Kiss the badge. How are you, Borgie? I won't be long. I hope it's not too loud. I'm at the game, obviously, but I just wanted to quickly show my face. I didn't want to miss this one, mate. Like I said, I just want to quickly say a quick 2 minutes on the United-Arsenal game.
Please, take your time.
Mate, look, what can we say? I have to say you're a good sport. Watching the game with you live and my brother was really good, but I didn't give you too much shit. We needed the 3 points, and that's what I wanted. That's what we got. I did actually think you guys were actually really good. I have to say credit to you guys. To come to Old Trafford and actually have a go at us, I have to give you credit for that. I actually thought we started, the first 15 minutes, I actually thought for a change, we actually started the game good. We played a lot in your half. You guys came into the game. Obviously, Anthony, on debut, opened up the scoring, so that was a massive goal for him. And then, from them, again, like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, sitting back, and you guys, especially in the second half, until you guys scored the equaliser, really, really came in. From then on, I really thought that with 30 minutes to go, I really thought you guys would have went on and taken the win. But look, we made a few changes, and your worst mistake was playing your high line, mate. Your centre backs were on the halfway, and with our pace, we absolutely killed us on your pace, with pace. Not once but twice, and I really thought you guys would have learned from that. But hey, we really needed the points. You guys are still top of the table, so I guess it's a little bit of a win-win for both of us.
Hey, what's the score at the moment? I'm seeing 2-1.
Canada just scored as I just started the stream. It was 2-1 to Canada, so unlucky. But I have to say, what a world-class stadium while I'm here at the new Allianz, top stadium.
What's the atmosphere like?
it's nearly a full house, mate. It's at least 90% packed out. So especially when we scored within 3 minutes, it just erupted. It was really good.
Yeah,
I just want to get your thoughts, and I'll get Scott's thoughts on this as well. VAR intervention for Arsenal's goal there. Tell me about it, because I have my views. Robbie, you first, and Scott.
I know you're called the balanced blue, Arj, but you know me, I always call it how it is. And if anyone that watches football says that that's a foul, honestly, look, touch and go. Even 30 years ago, people were saying, oh, that's not a foul. Yeah, fair enough. In this day and age, we've got technology and we've got VAR. He's come from behind. He's put a two-handed push on him, and he didn't get the ball in any part of it. So there's no chance that's a foul, mate. So the worst thing about it is the referee didn't make the call when he was 5 meters away from him. So if the referee made the right call, we wouldn't have had, this big controversy of a disallowed goal, which I would say was a class finish from Martinelli. But it's 100%, it's a foul. And I don't care if you're salty or not salty, it's a no foul. And if it was on the other, shoe was on the other foot, I'd say, okay, no worries, play on.
It's easy to say when you've won the match. Look, for me, massive momentum killer, man. It's that goal gets allowed as the ref saw no problem with it on the pitch. He played it on, and then it went up for something that can't be that clear and obvious if it takes so long to make a call. I just wish they'd let the refs go with their gut, go with their call. It certainly wasn't clear and obvious. Looking at it in, half speed, slow motion, always going to look worse. It was a foul. I would definitely say it was a foul. But you know what? There were plenty of things he let go. It was a push. But, mate, if pushes were going to be punished equally in that game, McTominay wouldn't have lasted 15 minutes because it was just inconsistent. And you know me when we have these talks. It's just inconsistency that really grinds my gears. If you're going to call pushes, you're going to disallow a goal that you said was okay for a clear and obvious push. Well, you've got to be calling the pushes, and McTominay should have seen red in 15 minutes, mate. If pushes are counting.
I agree 100% that there's so much inconsistency in the game. Like when you guys should have probably had a penalty last week. There was calls. I'm sure you guys will discuss it later on how many bad calls there was this week. But
terrible.
Everyone wants consistency. We go a few weeks with some really good calls. This weekend was honestly a shocker, man. It's a real shock in all games. But look, a biased fan or not biased fan, for me, it was definitely not a push. I thought the referee should have picked that up straight away and there wouldn't have been a big controversy. But like I said, I'm just you can't say, as a neutral, I think you should have enjoyed that game because that was actually, a rare game when actually two teams go head-to-head. Two rival teams as well. Sometimes they finish as a ball draw. So for them to see four goals, obviously I'm extra happy. We've got the 3 points which we needed. I just didn't want to lose that game. If you asked me, I would have taken a point before before the game kicked off. I would have happily taken a point. I didn't want to lose that. One for the banter, but two for the table position. I know it's really tight right now, but before kickoff we were sitting around 8th. So when we got the 3 points and moved up to 5th, it just makes everyone look a little bit closer, 3 points away from you guys at the top. And after our terrible start, we're right back in the mix again.
Football comes at you fast, Robbie, doesn't it? 1 week you're relegated.
Talk about
next week lasers out. A week after it's 21. It does come at you very quick.
We're going to let you go and enjoy the game, man, because I know you're out for the family. Nice that you could jump in. Our correspondent on the ground at Allianz, Robbie, take it easy, mate. I'm glad you're not here tonight. Get out of here.
Make sure you give it to him, boys. I'm going to watch this later. I want to see plenty of him. All right, ciao,
bye. Just interview Sam Kerr for us. See ya.
Bye.
Couple of comments in the chat I want to highlight. This one from my man Steve, the Aussie Gooner. If you haven't already, check out his channel. Always puts out brilliant content, so show him a bit of love. Refs in the league have always been crap. That's the way it was. Yeah, look, Saka taken out by Mings, pointing out another example. It is what it is, man. It's just, this is my problem. Take away the fact that it's the Arsenal game and that disallowed goal completely killed the match. It's inconsistency. That's my problem. I bang on about it all the time. Just get the calls right. Get these calls right. Stop ruining the game. There's too much at stake now in the Premier League. And when you've got companies like Sky who are also running betting syndicates and betting apps and promoting that, it's just mental. The second that betting got involved with professional sport,
integrity's gone, mate. It's
hell of a lot more controversy. Couple more comments. Tom saying, take it all away, and your initial reaction is that it was a foul. Well, you know what? The problem is The referee's initial reaction was that it wasn't. So his is the initial reaction we should go with. Do I think after seeing it in slow-mo over and over and over and over that it was a foul? Yeah, it was. But there were plenty that he let go. So, Geordie, enjoying seeing me squirm. A good question here. Can Arsenal cover the deficiency in midfield? No, we can't. No, we can't. We lose Thomas Partey. We are not the same team. We'll still do okay. I'm not saying we're going into free fall, but he's a big loss. Huge loss. The starting three, your guess is as good as mine, mate. It has to be Xhaka. It has to be Lokonga at this point. And I would probably drop Erdegaard deep and put Emile Smith-Rowe up. But it doesn't matter what I think. We should have brought in someone. That was a big mistake. Just a few more, Arj. I'm going to go through. Obviously, I watched this game in full. This from Justin. Big rookie mistake from Arteta at 1-1. He went too hard. Now, we went into the match, I felt, and I'm sure when we chuck Borche into the stream in a moment, he'll have a different view, but I felt that we were the team that were attacking the game a little bit more outside of the first maybe 15, 20. We were attacking, we were pushing, we were the more positive team. But tactically, Ten Hag got it right. I think his pre-match talk was probably, don't let them play football. And it worked. They were physical. McTominay, mate, absolute grub. But that's what you need against teams that want to play pretty like Arsenal. Frustrate them, press them, kick them, push them. And then they're going to get so desperate to attack that you can hit them on the break. And that's exactly what United did. So tactically from Ten Hag, effective football. Was it beautiful? No. Is it the kind of football I'd like to watch every week? No. But did they get 3 points? Yes, and that is the most important thing. Did you see this match, RJ?
I did. I got a few sentiments. So, firstly, right call. I think it was a foul. I know what you're saying. You got to back the initial reaction, but that's the whole point of having someone reviewing it, because there is a lot of things happening at a fast pace. The refs are meant to get the help. Look, it's soft, and I know all about the soft calls, so don't worry. We're not being one-eyed here. The reality is, it was the right call. Does it change momentum? Yes or no? You guys were still in the match. You played it. It's one of those weird situations where you play a good game, but you lose. So how much do you take from it, and how much do you be super critical? There was some naivety there with the way they defended and let some of those goals in. Like Saliba got turned quite easy, and it's a very big open patch of grass. He got exposed. You'll learn from that. But I think the real questions come more broadly about the poor application of the technology that they've got at their disposal. And a lot of teams are being affected by it. We've complained, you've complained, other clubs constantly complain. It's a tough situation, because I listened to a lot of different podcasts and shows, and they kind of say, well, how can a multi-billion-dollar product allow such poor standard of officiating? To be honest, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but in some respects, I kind of think, like the old saying, any publicity is good publicity. This gets a lot of interactions. This keeps the Premier League conversation right up here. Doesn't always have to be for the right reasons, because if you're a sponsor, you're constantly being promoted. So it's a funny situation where a lot of these on the margin calls, I think, are deliberately a little bit grey with some of their decisions. But look, Arsenal, this is a little bit of tongue in cheek, but this is the first real difficult opponent that they've come up against. Didn't get the result they needed. United, on the other hand, started off really poor, have now started to find their feet under Ten Hag. So you've got to, take your hat off where it's due with this one. So it'll be interesting to see where both teams go from here.
100%. I'm going to bring in someone you know very well, the man himself. I'm looking at him backstage, and I really don't want to bring him in, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to give him his moment. Borche from the football capital. Look at him. You never know what you're going to get with this bloke.
Look at him. Savor this moment.
Nicely, Scotty. Chat to me nicely. You thought you came to Old Trafford, but it was the Neverland Ranch, the way you, man, got touched up. What am I hearing? Barchester United is back. You like it? Remember last time at the Emirates, Arsenal returned the favor. Remember my 80, 85, $86 million right winger? Well, welcome to the Premier League, baby. Welcome to the Premier League. Let me see you a little bit better, Scotty. Yeah, you're definitely going to need a 4-leaf clover, mate, because your luck has run out. The luck has run out, mate. What's going on, boys? RJ, October 22nd. I think you're next on the line as well with your boys. It's not looking great, mate. We're putting the chest in Manchester. We are back.
Wow. The bus is ready. Scott, he's got the
21
ignition turned on. He's ready.
Hey, the bus is here. We are ready, boys.
Can I ask you something though? Serious question, because you all got up me, you United boys, and all right, I know you're a bit more on point than the others. I said to you guys when your big protest happened, I said you'll get a couple of wins, you'll get a big player, you got your big man. Can I ask you a question from Steve?
Hey,
are you Glazers in now?
Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. And this is why you got to tune in a little bit earlier before the match starts. You saw a protest once again outside the stadium. Put up that volume. I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. Put up that volume. Glazer out chants throughout the match. The banners at the end of the stadium. So I give credit to the Man United fans. You know, we stick to our guns. We don't let these signings. You know what? I wanted to be excited about our signings, Casemiro, Anthony. But for me, this time around, yeah, I should, but I just don't have that. I just don't have that excitement for the signing. I like the players. You know, I'm happy that we've got him, of course. But why did you bring him in? Because there's Jim Ratcliffe is ready to buy the club, and there's protest, and you guys are all trending. I think I've got banned on Facebook by Manchester United because every post they put up, I've said announce new owners. Every post. I don't care if it's the lineup, if it's training session, announce new owners, and I've been blocked. So then obviously there's someone that's listening. Fantastic. And the protest will continue. As you can see here, we got the kit, the green and gold down. Norwich settings are out. But look, the Glazer is definitely out. But we have to enjoy the victories.
100%. Look, hey, I want to ask you though, like in all seriousness, I don't know if you heard what I was saying just before we brought you in. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I said to RJ, I felt that we were the team that attacked the game, but I think that tactically and as a team, we were naive. I think we were very naive to attack the way we did, keep creeping that line forward, and I think it was very clever from Ten Hag. I mean, to put that pace on and just smash us on the break. You did it. I wouldn't say it was negative football from United, but you certainly went out to play counter-attacking football. I watched a game with Robbie, and you know, Rob, if anyone's ever watched a game live with Rob, he's the world's biggest whinger. You could be up 15-0, and he's whinging.
Number one.
He's got high standards, boys.
He sat there, right, and he was saying, I don't care. I don't like us not. We need to attack at home. I don't like us not attacking. You certainly didn't attack after that 20 minutes. You played pragmatic. You played counter-attack. It's not a problem, is it? I mean, you got 3 points. Are you happy for the team to play that way against the big boys?
Look, the first maybe opening minutes leading up to that disallowed goal, it was all us.
Yeah,
it was all us. You look, Arsenal overall probably the better team on the night. To say we were a counter-attacking team, there was 18 passes and everyone touched the ball for the first goal. So when you're looking at things like that, hey, 18 passes, this is tiki-taka, old school Barcelona stuff that Man City are doing now. Yeah, it's not polished, it's not the best. You know, it could be a bit cleaner, but how many touches was in that right-hand corner? All the way back, let's play it again. Bang, we get our goal with Anthony there.
Anthony was good. I was really impressed with, to be honest. I mean, I know the talk's all about his techers. I thought he was all right in that regard, but I was really impressed with how he dropped back and pressed as well. He had that. Yeah, he was very energetic. So a good signing. I saw more from him in one match than I've seen from Sancho ever in a United jersey. So, mate, good signing. Very good signing.
Even Eriksen, boys. Eriksen, the progressive passing, and I'm talking from someone who could use a profile like that. Geez, some of the vertical passing, the vision to cut across at the right time to make sure he's not playing thingy offside. Experience matters, particularly in a position like that. So I think that's been low-key a brilliant signing.
Yeah, look, I think with the system, you mentioned Sancho there, I think at the moment, the way we are playing, while everyone's trying to transition into a new system, you still got to hold what the players know, right? If you're going to get counter-attack, you got the players. Marcus Rashford is a player that you can hit. He gets behind the players and you hit on the counter-attack.
Did very
Once
well.
we start going into that, the Ten Hag ball, where you're applying the pressure and you're playing that ball in their final third. That's when I think Sancho would be at his best in that situation. Then that leaves a question on Rashford. Will he start when the whole system moves towards a more attacking based, possession based football? Because Rashford gets him behind. Sancho is a bit more, because we saw in that Southampton game and against Leicester, you can't put through balls to Sancho because he just doesn't got the legs. He doesn't got the speed. Now with Anthony, you can play them balls. He does got the speed and he's good in tight spaces. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out for Rashford and our front players, Martial, when he comes back in, and then who sits out? Who sits out when everyone is fit?
I think you've got to go with form. It's got to be whoever's in form plays. If it ain't broken, don't fix it, man.
Yeah, horses for courses. You might have to play the players and look at, like, I know we all speak about, Eriksen, obviously, he was brilliant, but McTominay as well, I still don't think
he did his job.
Yeah, look,
he frustrated us.
I still don't think he's good enough to be, for us to win the league. I don't think he's the guy, right? But it looks like he might be transitioned for Casemiro maybe in a couple of weeks' time. But at the end of the day, he's performing. He's putting in a shift, and you gotta reward that at the end of the day. But yeah, look, Arsenal. To be honest, I was a bit worried in the second half. You guys came out firing because there's a record that we hold. Only Premier League to hold is after we've gone in ahead at halftime, we've never lost a Premier League game. We're the only club. And once you guys scored that goal, I was like, oh no. Worse than losing the game. It's actually that record I wanna keep. Yeah, look, I think you guys did okay. Do you know what I mean? I think Jesus was a bit of a problem. He's doing them, but the runs. If you look at Varane, he was doing like the Cavani runs where who's picking him up? He made it difficult for our defenders. Obviously, you can't do everything by himself. You can't do everything on his own as well. I think our backline still held as strong as they could. Malacia was put through his first actual test. I know we had Salah pocketed him last week, but I think Saka was giving him problems majority of the game. And that's a learning curve for him. He's still young, still learning the ropes of the Premier League. These players
will grow from this. I thought you should be proud of the players. They did well. At the end of the day, salty, not salty. I can't stand Manchester United. I take no pleasure in losing to them, but credit where it's due. It was clever tactically from Ten Hag. A lot of your players stepped up. I just want to kind of give the final thought on this, and you're more than welcome to stick around if you want to. If not, you'll jump out. Sure. Completely up to you. But I've seen a lot of this. Best I've seen Arsenal at Old Trafford. Great performance. They should be proud of themselves.
Still lost 3-1, bro.
No,
that's it.
I don't care. The performance is not good if you don't win.
Yeah, but
the performance is not good. There were patches that were good, but we as a team have a mentality problem still. We're not quite polished and ready for a sustained title challenge for this reason. We go to the big grounds. We could go and play at Anfield next week against this Liverpool team, and they would still stitch us up because mentally we go to these grounds and we let the occasion get the better of us every single time. Like, yes, we did Chelsea at the Bridge last season, but our away record against big teams is dreadful. And if we're going to keep taking that next step, we need to lift it up. Do better, defend better. I hope Arteta learned some lessons from this because Ten Hag showed his experience. And I think as long as Arteta's learning from these moments, so be it. I'm happy.
Scotty, to me, I kind of disagree a little bit in terms of the mentality, because what I've seen, especially at the back end of last season, even this season as well, every time you guys concede a goal, their heads don't drop. The boys go on, and literally in the space minimum 5 minutes, bang, there's another goal. That Leicester game, literally bang, goal, off. So the mentality, I think it's possibly the quality of players that you got there, and I think this is where it's a depth, and I think this is where your owners. So this is where you guys should be protesting, because it's not good enough. It's not, no joke. It's not good enough for you guys now to be in this position where you went 5 games unbeaten. Imagine if you guys had Tielemans in that to come on or even start instead of Lokonga. I'm not saying Lokonga I didn't notice he was playing till the second half, but he didn't make anything like bad mistake or anything. But imagine if you had a Tillemans there. Imagine if you had someone better on the right to replace a Saka or someone like Odegaard comes off, and you're bringing in who? You got Nketiah up front. What's he gonna do?
Mate,
Like,
he's our number 14. But
he's
anyway,
not
look, let's move on. Are you sticking around or are you jumping out? What are you doing?
Why not?
Beautiful.
Why not?
He's here, mate.
Let's go.
Glazer's in.
URJ. Obviously,
Come on.
there were 3 really big calls that were talked about this week. We've just touched on the one in the Arsenal match. There was a huge call in your match, and I want to get your thoughts on the game and that call specifically. And then obviously the Newcastle game as well. Just quickly talk us through your match, because a London derby is never easy, RJ, but you came out of it with 3 points. I'm sure that's all you care about. But talk us through the performance and talk us through that incident.
Yeah, sure, man. So like I said, London derby, it's always fiery, mate. We haven't played well all season apart from the Spurs game, which we should have got the result. We didn't. And this was very much a West Ham team that was happy to come, park the bus, walk away with a point, and really just move on to the next match, because they've also struggled this season despite having a pick-me-up against Villa. We were quite pedestrian first half, really struggled to unpick the lock. West Ham very organised, very disciplined at the back, didn't give much away. We didn't really test them as much. Like I said, pedestrian, very passive, a lot of sideways passing, struggled to make any real penetrative inroads, no vertical stuff. West Ham, like I said, very safe at the back. Second half, I thought we were looking a little bit more, we changed our approach ever so slightly, and we were starting to find a little bit more openings. But then traditional style, we've conceded yet another set piece goal, which set pieces were our strong point last season. Our 4th related set piece goal we've conceded. Another mistake by Mendy and defence, not just Mendy. There was some interesting stills showing Mendy getting touched up, but again, got to be better on that. We conceded a very cheap goal. Ben Chilwell comes off the bench, scores a very well-crafted finish, the head, the turn, the ingenuity to put that away. Fantastic. Then Kai Havertz finally opened up his account. Very tidy first-time finish. Then that very poor back header from Reece James put Mendy in all sorts of pain. He's come out. He's tried to make a claim at the ball. He's in no man's land. He's been collided with. I thought it's a goal. It's happening. Then I see it. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, this is one of those situations I don't want to be on the other side of, because I would have hated to have that goal conceded or ruled out, essentially, because I thought, geez, that's a kick in the stomach. And for Mendy, it was actually a kick in the ribs, not the stomach. I understand why at the time they did what they did, and I've got a nice still of it. So if we do want to bring up visuals, I've got it there and there. Bowen's trailing leg directly into his rib. I can understand why they gave it. But then also, sorry, thing popped out.
Settle down, mate. Relax.
I can understand why they came out and said they did. No, but you know what? I make no mistakes for accepting 3 points. I'll take it. And that's the reality of it, man. It's one of those situations, what we said before. Consistent inconsistency.
For me, I thought this was a howler, in all seriousness. I mean, you said it yourself. Mendy was in no man's land. Like, the touch was ever so slight. I mean, I watched last week Aaron Ramsdale get held with arms around him and nothing. And then this, I don't know. I think, again, you take the points in this league, man. No matter how you get them, you take every point. Yeah,
It's binary, mate. It's black and white. His studs touch him, and that's if he doesn't touch him, it's a penalty. He touches the ball first, it's a foul after the fact. But I get it. If I was on the other side, I would hate that call.
Porche, you're neutral-ish.
Yeah, he's got all the angles, man. He's got all the angles. You know, I only saw the angles.
The non-Sky Sport angles.
It's VARJ.
I like it.
Do you know what? When I first seen it, I was like, how the hell did they disallow that? I mean, it's West Ham that's attacking. This guy's coming out of his box to come and try win the ball. Do you know what I mean? So he's gone for the shot. It's a slight touch. I don't know. To me, the goal should have stood, but I don't know.
He's injured, Borch. What are you talking about? He was injured, mate. He's ripped.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I've
look,
seen.
Tom looks like he's saying it's a foul. Bowen knows what he's doing. He could have jumped.
100%. He's looking for a
Left a
penalty,
soft one
man.
on him. Oh, I don't know. It's not a foul by the book. Oh, I don't know. He legs Rooney saying it was a tap on the chest, but Mendy milked it.
Well, they came out, didn't they? They came out and said it was the wrong call. And that's interesting now. They've got this independent investigation. Where was this investigation when Cucurella was getting a haircut by Romero? Where was the investigation then?
But you
So,
know
like,
what? What's the
come
point?
on.
I've
At
seen
least
a few.
consistent, eh?
Yeah, but like I saw this from Shano, who tunes in regularly. He's a Newcastle fan. There was an Optus Sports tweet kind of saying, the Premier League have reviewed it. They've said it was an error. What's that? What good is that to
exactly.
a team what good's that to West Ham if they miss out on European football by 1 point at the end of the season? I know that the bad calls seem to circulate, except to Manchester United. But look, what's the point of this independent review? There's no accountability. Those refs will sit out 1 week or go sit in VAR for a week and they're back. There needs to be some kind of accountability. If I'm a teacher, if I'm doing an awful job, if the kids in my class are, sitting there vaping and graffitiing and not learning a thing, I'm not going to keep my job. They're not going to say, you know what, just go sit in the canteen for a couple of days, have some Zappos, and you'll be
interpretation, Scott, man. It's interpretation. Like, you use the foul in the United game. It's a foul.
But they came out and said they got it wrong.
But even like the whole McTominay thing, he was roughing up players and whatever. In our match, we had the number of fouls conceded and the amount of yellow cards we got versus what West Ham got. Antonio and Reece James locked horns. Minutes later, Antonio full, Randy Orton headlocks Silva to the ground. That's a bloody red card, or at least a second yellow, and then he scores a few minutes later. So, there's so many calls. Even Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he puts his arm up. Old mate runs into it. Another referee on another day gives that a yellow card. So you're just getting these random calls. Is there a way to fix
this, boys? Is there anything else that you'd like to see done to help make this? Because it's not VAR. VAR is not the problem. The problem is the people using VAR and the inconsistency. Is there anything we can do? Not we, but anything that they can do to fix it? Borja, anything, mate. You're a clever guy sometimes.
Yeah, you think that. I don't know, man. Like, I've heard a lot of things saying get ex-players in there. Do you know what I mean? Because they've been in that situation. They
know the fabric.
Yeah, exactly. But is that gonna help anything? Then they say something about the guys in the VAR box that they don't feel the atmosphere of the ground and of the match. I'm like, is that gonna make a difference? Do you know what I mean? Like even with the Man United one, on Ødegaard and Eriksen, like, for ones that are saying that's not a foul, well,
it was a foul.
McTominay did the same tackle on Martinelli, and the ball went out for a throw-in, but they didn't take the throw. They took the free kick. But you got to be consistent. But it's just so many things. It's like, to me, it's some of them. All right, some of them where they're very hard to call, and they can go both ways. Yeah, you could interpret it whichever way you want. But there's some clear-cut ones where you're like, come on, surely, you got to give that goal. You're not giving that goal. It's a foul. Some of them are so clear and they still go the opposite way. And this is the reason why there was no English refs in the World Cup, because of this reason, because they're not good enough. The referees they're scared to make a call. They're scared to make a decision. You saw with maybe we'll touch on the Coutinho one as well, where he scores a goal. The referees put the flag up. They've blown the whistle. No one knows what's going on. And by the rule book, the referee's blowing the whistle. He can't now. They can't reverse that and give the goal. It's too late now. So it's like, I don't know what I don't know what would solve any sort of problem. Like, it's got to be common sense, I guess. Like, common sense tells you that majority of the things is it's obvious, but obviously not. I don't know. I don't know another way besides maybe getting rid of everyone. Get rid of all these referees. Apparently, they're going to have robots doing the line now. So let's see how that turns out in the World Cup. But I don't know, Scotty.
Yeah, it's.
I know it's mental, but
do you see the one Van Dijk, the studs up? I can't remember who was against Everton. The studs up.
Yep.
What? If that was Xhaka, that's a red card.
Man, it wouldn't have even gone to VAR. It would have been a red on the field.
Exactly right. So it's like maybe it's got like Xhaka did a dive, didn't give him a yellow, tried it, but You know what I mean? But then another player, Carlson or someone else, probably gets a yellow. And it's like the reputation of a player. Is that what we're looking at? I don't know. I don't know, man.
For me, the only thing realistically they can't fix this problem, even without VAR before that, we would still have incidents in a match week. And you're never going to keep everyone happy all the time. But you know what would make me happier? Something that we hear in the NRL, right? I find it unbelievable to think that the world game needs to take tricks from the NRL, but I at least understand the thought process, the discussion, because I can hear the conversation in the bunker. What's being said in that VAR area that can't be revealed to the public? Play the conversation. At least then you don't have to like every decision, but a lot of the time, what gets me is having no idea. I've watched football a pretty long time, and I see some decisions, and I have no idea why they've called the way they have.
Yeah.
I think they need to open those conversations up, build a bit more transparency, and let the match-going fans and the fans all around the world hear the thought process.
I'll take an extension on that. Because we see often on the halftime coverage with McDermott, the ex-pro.
Dermot Gallagher,
yeah, exactly. That's right, Dermot. And he's always going on, he's trying to give his interpretation of why he thinks a certain decision or indecision's been made. And I think that's a good perspective, but it's nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth. So not only should you hear it in the moment, but for accountability purposes and for clarity, they should, like managers, like players, after the game, explain key decisions to clear the air. And again, you don't have to agree with it because, okay, they saw it that way. Fine, whatever. At least we don't have to scratch our heads and get an apology 3 days later. So not good enough.
Yeah, I heard as well. Just quickly touch on that referee, like you were saying, like they're doing the NRL where we can hear the conversation, right? I've been hearing that they are recording and they're looking at the conversations, but it's not shown to the public, and you can't access them files or anything like a week later. So it's like, what's even the point?
What's being said?
They're trialing something. It's why do you need to trial something like that? It's just you're on an earpiece. You're just having that conversation like you have like you see in the NFL, and what you can hear in the grandstand, the conversation in the NFL. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see how they sort something like that out.
All right.
Just in some, you guys reckon, Scotty, quickly, do you guys reckon with like Liverpool last week with the 3 minutes over the time that they had, and
115 minutes they played?
Do you reckon they should do it like we're talking about NRL? If there's a stoppage, just stop the clock. Just stop the clock. Big deal.
Quickfire question. Should they stop the clock like the NRL?
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
I agree.
All right. Boys, just in some side news, the Matildas have lost to the Canada women. Mate, for me, Tony Gustafson, like, get rid of him. He's got to go. He's taking a team with the world's best player in Sam Kerr and just butchering it, man. Butchering it. They should have kept Stadge. Free Stadge. Bring him home. That's my opinion. And his wife follows me on Twitter, so I'm a massive fan of the Stadge. Want him to come back, but disappointing.
Get him on here, Scott. What are you talking for, mate?
I'm working on Stadge. If you want to come on, there's always room here for you. On another note, the third massive controversial call, and we'll gloss over this one pretty quickly. Nice to see a champion in the chat. The Newcastle one. What I thought was a very legitimate goal. Nice to see Munsey talks. Make sure you check his channel out too. He's a good fella. Willock fouled the goalkeeper. I feel like Newcastle probably were a bit hard done by on that one. I saw no foul. If anything, Joe Willock was pushed into the keeper by a Palace player. The action was not caused by him. It was caused by Palace. I don't know why Newcastle were punished for that. I thought this was a terrible, terrible call.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. Like, and that's like when it comes to common sense. It's like who pushed who. Like, it's obvious. Like, I don't know what screens they're looking at. I don't know what angles they're looking at. If anyone's looking at that, but that's what I mean, man. Like, to me, it's right there. It's clear. It's obvious. Remember they said, if it's clear and obvious, we can only change it. Well, out of all of them,
it's a definition of what's clear and obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. A few howlers, man. Bad.
RJ?
Yeah, no, I know it's rich coming from me in that situation, but yeah, this one to me was another blunder. And again, it comes back to a game refereed by humans making human errors. So it's almost like we've got to, on top of the accountability fix, almost as fans just have an acceptance from the start. Look, we're going to get a 90-10 policy, 90% right, 10% wrong, and just hope that your team rises above the mistakes because they just clearly can't resolve it with humans maintaining it.
Yep. All right. Some other results there. I'm not planning on going into them unless you boys have something desperate to say, but Man City draw against Villa. They'd be disappointed with that. I think the title's going to come down to which of the big teams copes well with your teams like Aston Villa, Newcastle, all of them. Disappointing for them. That Merseyside derby was the Bawsey side derby. I was about to fall asleep. It was terrible, man.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought Everton were unlucky, mate. And the keepers, shout out to the keepers. Some brilliant saves, mate. They don't get praised enough, but honestly, some of those
when
saves.
goals go past the keepers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, mate. I was watching it with the Aussie Gooner, mate. I was watching it with the Aussie Gooner. We were entertained. We're thinking about our fantasy points. We had a few fantasy players from fantasy there, FPL. Not happy that Morpie didn't get a goal because the person that I was versing had him. But I found that probably out of the last few seasons, this was probably the most exciting one. You know what I mean? Especially when if you take away the one where Everton beat them 2-0 at home, but. Other than that, yeah, like there were some great opportunities for Everton to get the win.
Pickford come up large too. A couple of
the
massive
keepers were good. Keepers were good.
It wasn't that boring, to be honest.
For me, it was. I was done.
Yeah, someone's got to call this guy out. He's got to sit down with Neville and Carragher and explain himself now, yeah? Because Ten Hag after 2 games had to sit there like this, explain, Ronaldo and this player and this player. Explain yourself now, Jürgen. Explain yourself. I told you boys at the start, if there's an Achilles heel that Liverpool not going to win this league, it's going to be because they don't have a midfielder. And look at now. Klopp comes out and he goes, you guys were right. I needed a midfielder. No worries, Jürgen. Maybe you should get me as an assistant.
I think as well for Liverpool, though, in losing Mane, right? Like if you were playing against Liverpool, you had to split your focus. You had to really load up on Mane. You had to really load up on Salah. And if you could keep them both quiet, fair enough. Now with him not there, they're less threatening. You load up on Salah. You play him out of the game. And the other guys, I mean, they've got good players, but not at that Mane level. He's a big miss.
Where's that Darwin Noodles? What happened? 85 million, no one's questioning him.
He hit the crossbar, didn't he? Did he hit the crossbar for header?
Yeah, it's off target. That's an off target shot.
What about the clip where he's giving Morpay a little bit of stick for his VAR no goals? Like, mate, what have you done since you rocked up? Who are you again? That's it.
What about his missed kick in the first half, 6-yard box?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not great.
I don't know there, but someone's got a question, Jürgen.
Boys, the UCL is back tomorrow. Not so exciting for me and Borche. I'm sure you're looking forward to it, RJ, but there's some big matches. You know what? Obviously, I'm repping Celtic tonight. Aussie Ange, a man who is doing a phenomenal job there. I can't wait. You know, we're going to pause this chat for a minute because I can see someone backstage.
Yeah.
Massive champion, runs an amazing channel, has been here before, and might have a word or two to say about that awful call against Newcastle. Paul from the Toon Review. Paul, our favourite Newcastle fan. How are you?
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Living the dream, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Still not over that decision at the weekend, but we're getting used to that.
Talk us through your perspective on that as a Newcastle fan. I've had a bit of a cry about the Ødegaard one. We've talked about some others, but talk us through that decision.
Well, I was behind the goal, just to the right of the goal behind. But it was very strange because, Botman heads it back across. There's a coming together. Happened really quickly. The ball, and I actually thought Willock had put the ball in the net. I didn't realize it had hit the Palace player. And then all celebrations, and then of course the usual. We have to wait a few minutes because it comes up on the screen We thought they were reviewing a possible offside, and then it came up on the screen that they were reviewing a foul. So, of course, we're all thinking, where the hell was the foul? Because at that particular time, Willock was spark out on the floor. The Palace keeper was down as well, who, by the way, I thought made quite a lot of it, like a certain other Chelsea goalkeeper. And then
poor ribs are broken, Paul.
Oh, give over, ribs broken. What, they're made of? Elastic.
Yeah, see, made of steel boots.
Honestly, I hope he's all right, though, RJ. I'm sending me sincere condolences to Mendy.
Exactly.
My God. Just so they're both down on the floor, and then all of a sudden, the referee goes to the screen, and you just have that gut feeling in your stomach that that's it. He's gonna disallow the goal, which is exactly what happened. But this referee that we had on Saturday was inexperienced. He'd only refereed 7 Premier League games, and then you've got that absolute tool bag, Lee Mason, sitting in front of a monitor, and he didn't show the right angle for the referee to see the push. He showed a couple of angles, but didn't show them all. And the angle that told it all was the one that he didn't show the referee, which showed Willock clearly getting pushed by Mitchell into the goalkeeper, and the ball then rebounding off Mitchell into the goal. Now, Willock is not going to deliberately dive and miss the ball and, risk a massive head injury by colliding with the goalkeeper on purpose. It's a ridiculous thing to think of. And just like the West Ham goal, some other VAR at the weekend, it's absolutely disgraceful. And Lee Mason's, he's been left out of any duties this week.
He'll be back the following week, though, Paul.
Exactly. We don't think it's a punishment. It's protecting him. Let's just take him out the firing line for a week and it'll all be forgotten about. But my God, I mean, what is going on?
What should they do, though? What should they do? Should they send the referees to the championship for a couple of weeks? Is that gonna?
Well, I don't think it's. We did a show on VAR last night, and or this morning, as it would be for you guys. But we had a lot of non-league fans come in and say that think of how we feel. We've got no VAR and terrible referees. So I think it's through the pyramid. And then some people are saying on the radio over here that there's not enough refs coming in from grassroots because the abuse that they get at an early start puts them off.
Who'd want a ref? That's right.
Yeah, and we find that even in school kids playing football over here, the referees are getting it in the neck, and they're just pulling out. They're saying that this isn't for me. I'm not putting up with this. If this is what it's like at sort of school age, what's it going to be like moving up the ladder? So I don't know where it changes, but there's been suggestions of maybe getting European referees over, or whoever runs VAR in places like Germany, where it just goes, they go to VAR, they review it for, it doesn't even take a minute, and they're on with the game again. And the players just accept it and move on. That doesn't happen over here. It's ridiculous.
I want to ask you, because we were chatting before you jumped on, and one of the things that they do in the rugby league down here, when something goes up, we call it the bunker. When something goes to the bunker, aka VAR, you can actually hear the conversation in real time that they're having as they look at the images, they play the footage. They're kind of talking out loud. They're saying, we can see here that this player's doing that and this foot's on the touchline.
Yep.
Do you think that's something that could make a bit of a difference? Because I know me personally, and this is what RJ and Borche were all saying, you're more likely to cop a bad call or one you don't agree with if you can at least understand the thought process behind it. Would you like to see something like that come in?
It goes on in rugby over here as well. When they've got the Six Nations on or whatever it may be, they're all mic'd up. You can hear the conversation between the referee on the pitch and whoever's running. I don't think it's VR. It's not called VR over here. It's something else, but it's the same thing. And you can hear the conversation. So I don't understand why the referee can't be mic'd up, and we as fans or whoever's, if it's on TV, we can't hear the conversation going on between the VAR and the referee. Why? Why is there such secrecy about it? What, if that was the case, maybe we could understand a little better, why they come to the decisions they do. Because at the moment, these referees are not accountable for any decision that they make, or the VAR. None of them are accountable, yet we see players and managers having to come out and face the cameras to be accountable for any mistakes that they make. But VAR and referees get away with it scot-free all the time. And
interesting,
it's not fair.
Yeah, but when they do get dropped, like if they miss a week here or there, as I understand it, there is real punishment for them because they get paid per refereeing performance. So if that is the case, they are taking a hit in their pocket and their pay is quite mediocre relative to the players. So you could argue that they do cop a consequence. It's just, what's the point of repeating the same punishment if you're not affecting any positive change? So that's that. I think a part of the frustration for fans at the ground, fans at TV, it stifles the experience at the time. They're taking too long to make a decision. Number one, it shouldn't take that long. It should be reasonably black and white. And if not, they should get to a decision quicker. Yeah. But secondly, I think they also drum up the controversy by constantly providing replays and images. And that just frustrates people more and more. It's kind of as if, make the decision, get on with the game. Stop going back to what happened and go forward, because you can make a mistake. Things happen. But if you keep harping on about it, that annoys everybody. So just move on. That's what I reckon.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we were saying last night, I went through the rules of all the stipulated rules of VAR, and then I did a section on the clear and obvious part of it. There isn't any. I mean, you guys tell me, if something takes 5 minutes to review, is that clear and obvious?
Obviously not.
Exactly. So why
Clearly
is it taking 5 minutes? And every time I was reading a rule out, I'm thinking, well, that's not what happens. It even said about the referees going to the pitch side monitor. They only go there to change their decision. Now, Michael Oliver at Nottingham Forest against Bournemouth went to the monitor and didn't change his mind. He went and looked at it and thought, no, I'm not changing my mind. That's a penalty. It's a handball. So he went against what the VAR rules stipulate, that you go to the monitor, you're going to change your decision.
Anthony Taylor done the same thing against us with Liverpool, Reece James. He looked at a still image to make his decision. It's just hilarious. So,
look, I don't know moving forward, but I mean, the season's been an interesting one so far. In a moment, we're going to have a quick look at some of the Champions League fixtures. You guys are more than welcome, Paul Borchet, to stay for another 10 if you'd like.
Yeah.
Before we do that, though, Paul, I want to ask you, we've talked a lot about United, Arsenal, Chelsea tonight. Just really quickly, you happy with Newcastle's season so far? And if you had to give us a little prediction on where you think you'll be at the end, where are you at the moment?
We're in a good place. I think that the problem is we've been VAR out of, I think it's 9 points we calculated. And if those decisions had gone our way, we'd be top of the league. That's how bad it is. But you know what? We've only won once and lost once, obviously, to Liverpool, which was gut-wrenching, to be honest, but it happened. But look, we've been hindered by injuries early doors. I thought they might have got a few more players in, a couple more during the window, just to get that squad depth. But look, it didn't happen. We got Isak in, who I think is going to be fantastic for us, because I do think he's going to have a long-term goal of playing Isak, St. Maximan and Wilson, the three of them up top, because Isak can play a little bit wider. Well, so can Wilson, to be fair. So I think they could swap over. Isak's through balls were brilliant. It's just that some of the players we have, football and brains weren't switched on to get onto the passes. So I think we're in a good place. And I think once we get the likes of Bruno, Maxi back, I think we'll be okay. I think top 8 is probably where I'm looking for this season. And if we can challenge for a European place, even better. But us and the likes of West Ham, if we miss out on Europe by a point or 2 points, then we're going to look back to the last weekend. But good place, good player. I'm really pleased.
Borche, quickly, you play these guys next. Arsenal and Newcastle don't play for a while. Chelsea, I don't think you play for a while. But United and Newcastle play on the 17th of October, I believe. Do you rate them, Borche? You rate this Newcastle team under Eddie Howe?
They're looking good. They're looking good, especially under the new manager. Bit shaky when he first came in at the back end of last season. And people were questioning why they bring him in and not someone like Benitez. But look, he's doing a good job. Yeah, maybe in the market they could have. To be honest, I think everyone was kind of shocked that they didn't go hard in the market because of obviously the new owners and all that sort of stuff. But look, if they want to take a different approach to how they want to build this club. You know, maybe they're starting off with the facilities, you know, for training grounds and all that stuff first to build the whole club, build the whole area, and also putting a bit of money into the squad. They're gonna be a difficult team to beat this season. And like you said, was it only one loss to Liverpool?
Yeah.
They do make it hard. I know you got a few draws there, but they do make it hard to beat. And you know, Man United, we're bouncing back 4 games in a row. But at the same time, I still can't trust my players. I don't know which team Man United team's going to show up. But yeah, we've had a good run against Newcastle the last couple of seasons, the last couple of games. But they always make it hard.
At least you know, Borchi.
Sorry, RJ.
Yeah. No, go.
I think FFP plays a big part in what we're doing at the minute, because we don't have the revenue streams that the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, etc. have. So once we get rid of the current sponsorship and we bring in, I mean, everyone's expected to be a huge Saudi Arabian company come in, we will then get the revenue that we can even spend even more money in the markets, which I think has hindered us a little bit at the moment, because they're trying to get installment deals rather than just pay up front for the players. And that's hindered us a little bit in trying to get deals with other clubs. But I think as for playing Manchester United, it's always a huge game. But I think we're in a much better position this time. And I think everybody's quite shocked at the standard of football that we're playing, even with the injuries. You know, a lot of them Steve Bruce players are still there, but they look like different players. They're not the same team. And it's completely different. So Eddie Howe, you know, he's gone and done a lot of learning. He's gone around Europe with different managers while he was out of a job. And he's come back and, you know, I mean, yes, he does make slight mistakes here and there. Jacob Murphy keeps coming on the pitch for some goddamn reason. But you know what? He's done a fabulous job. And I think he could become a real legend up here if he's given the time and money and facilities to put it right.
Easy. All right. I'm going to bring in Munzi, who we've got backstage, just quickly to share a couple of thoughts before we go to the UCL, because obviously you can see what I'm repping. I want to talk about Aussie Angers, Celtic. I want to talk about some of the matches coming up. But Munzi, welcome to the channel. First time joining us live. How are you going, my friend?
Yeah, good. Fuck the UCL. Talk about Europa League.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll be getting there. But look, share some thoughts with us. How are you feeling about the game week that just passed?
Just shut them gooners up. They're doing my flipping head in. Especially the Aussie one. God, Jesus.
You're talking about Steve, right? Not me.
Yeah. No, not you. No. Oh, yeah, you're a gooner as well. Oh, well. Can't be.
Give it to him, mate. Give it to him, Munzi. That's it.
They're just like Arteta at the end of the games, like, oh, yeah, flipping referees this. We played really well. Yeah, but you lost.
You lost.
I mean, you lost.
And he made a ridiculous substitution on 70 minutes, to be honest. That lost the game.
Did you hear about what happened to Smith Rowe after the game in the warm-up? He pulled a muscle. It's like it's the only thing he's done all season, isn't it?
Pulled a heart leads, mate.
Hey, are you confident that this season's going to end really well for Manchester?
Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win a treble. We're gonna win a treble.
Wow.
Georgia's got the bus loaded.
Are we? Fuck. I don't care where. I don't care as long as we finish. We'll finish top 4, I think. I'm more confident. I'm more confident playing at home now than we used to be. Used to dread playing at home, but yeah, it just shows we don't need Ronaldo. We need to get him out of the club because we don't need him.
Ronaldo, Munzi? Sorry?
Yeah, Ronaldo, don't need him. He don't suit the system. We need fast players, not like a 51-year-old playing up front for us. Do you know what I mean?
Would you take him? Would you take him at Newcastle? Cristiano Ronaldo? That's marquee.
No, hope in hell. Listen, I've been very vocal about Ronaldo, and I think he's been an absolutely fantastic player over the years. He's done it in different countries. He's done it at international level. For me, he's one of the greatest. But now, you know, Eddie's got this thing about team morale and motivation in the dressing room. I don't think Ronaldo's the right person to bring in personally. He comes with a hell of a lot of baggage. But look, I don't actually think Man United are hitting the heights yet at all. I think, you know, Arsenal, for me, should have won that game on Sunday. But, you know, credit to Man United, they took the chances. Should have, would have, could have, but I didn't. Yeah, I just don't think Man United are yet, which is good in a way, you know, for Man United fans, that they're not hitting the heights, you know, already. You know, they're winning games without playing brilliantly. You know, they're a danger now.
Yeah, look, I certainly saw some really good tactical football from Manchester United. Like I said, I didn't think it was attractive. I certainly didn't think it was attractive. But you know what? If you have a choice between attractive football and effective football, you're going to take effective football every day of the week.
And they're effective without Ronaldo at the moment. You've got to say it.
I think it's because Ronaldo scored them 2 goals on his return against Newcastle. Is someone's a little bit, I don't know, but we'll see when he rocks up and he puts a few past their goalkeeper. And thanks for Dubravka as well. I reckon he's a decent signing for us. Warm our bench.
Paul, any thoughts on Mr. Dubravka?
Do I have to?
Mate, you don't.
Enough said, mate.
Look, I don't understand this decision. You know, this is the same for me and the Newcastle fan base. Well, majority of them. We just don't understand the decision for him to go and sit on his arse at Man United, unless he's been promised that he's going to play the cup games, he's going to play the European games, whatever it may be. I don't get it at all. And the way that Man United, shall we say, trashed us a little bit in the January window with regards to Lingard, etc. Doing business with them hurt a little bit, you know. And then Dubravka, on the day he actually moves, puts an Instagram post out with him sitting watching Man United and commenting how great the club is. I think that stung the Newcastle fans a little bit, to be honest.
Just a quick question before we move on. How is he playing out from the back?
Terrible. His that's why Nick Pope's number one.
Mate, continue.
No, seriously, his distribution is terrible, right? His kicking, sometimes it just disappears into the gods. But he's not a keeper that will come out and control the ball and like a sweeper keeper. He's nothing like that. That's why Nick Pope's our number one, because he's on the edge of his box. Any through balls are over the top. He's out and he clears it. Dubravka's not that kind of goalkeeper. Don't get us wrong, excellent shot stopper, etc. But playing out from the back, no way.
He's no Mendy.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
Well,
Mendy's,
he doesn't
out
have
injured,
a
though,
dislocated shoulder and 20 broken ribs right now. You know what I mean? From that awful tackle.
I'm glad he's okay, Paul. Just for
oh God,
he's all
my
right.
heart bleeds for him. Honestly, I was worried for his health.
Oh well, he's all right.
Gents, I've put some fixtures up because for us, bright and early tomorrow morning, you can see the kickoff times there, Paul. 2:45 a.m., 5 a.m., Munsey. We're not going to go through every match because we've already been over an hour. We'll keep this short. We'll keep it sweet. Which one of these
focus on Celtic, Scott, by any chance, are you?
Mate, I don't know if you realise, but their manager is an Australian, Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah,
Very good manager, doing good things. For me, that's the match I'm looking forward to most. Am I expecting Celtic to come out of the game with something? Absolutely not. But what I am expecting is that they'll put up some kind of fight. I don't see it being a drubbing. I'm hoping they go in there and they can just play some good football. I love the way Ange handled the press conference. Maybe I'm on a bit of Aussie hype, but I just don't want to see them get smashed. I hope they put up a good fight. Munsey, let's go to you. And I know we've got Robbie here in the car. What match are you looking forward to there, my man? We're not talking Europa this time.
Yeah, Celtic Real Madrid one does look good. Just keep an eye on City. I think I'll put money on City to win it this year. The way Haaland's playing, can't see anyone past City. To be fair, and you say Celtic might get a drubbing. Last time they played a Spanish team, they beat them twice, like Barcelona. So, and the way they're drubbing Rangers every flipping week, they might have a chance against Real Madrid. I think it'll be close. I wouldn't be surprised if Celtic sneak it.
Okay. Robbie, I know you're in the car. Hopefully the kids are quiet and behaving, mate. Which match are you looking forward to, my man?
I think he might have dropped off.
Has he dropped off?
I think
Easy.
he has.
I like him better when he's quiet.
Why?
Let's go to you, RJ.
Because he realised that United, like Arsenal, are not in the Champions League. Just funky fact. But anyhow, apart from Chelsea, that's right. Well, you keep saying that. As long as you believe it, that's all good. But if factually speaking, Chelsea in the Champions League take on Dinamo Zagreb, Interesting. We've been poor. We know that. They're going to make it difficult for us. Our Croatian sensation, Mateo Kovacic, I'm hoping is going to be starting. But I'm looking for a few rebound performances from some of our players, in particular the likes of Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. They really need to rediscover their form. Reece James, a.k.a. the real RJ, just signed a 5-year extension. So kudos to him and great work from the club. I think we will get the job done, but it'll be more difficult than what it should be. I'm actually very interested in the Paris Saint-Germain versus Juventus clash. Obviously, Messi now is starting to find his form again. 3 goals, 6 assists in 6 games, but Pessi. So that's all that matters to some people. All good. But also, like Scott said, Celtic is going to be a low-key, interesting battle against Real Madrid. I'm really liking Aurelien Tchouameni, what he's doing for Real Madrid. I'm really spewing Chelsea didn't snap him up when we had the chance, but interesting clashes, boys.
All right. Borche, what are you looking forward to, man? What are you tuning into?
I think the Chelsea game is going to be interesting to see how they go away there in Croatia. Their fans are fanatic, so maybe that could look. I still think Chelsea would win, but you know that crowd gets on top of them. But you never know. Look, Celtic for me, they get pumped every single time in the Champions League, so I don't expect any different. To be honest, even with Ange. Yeah, I hope not. To be honest, I hope not. I really hope they do well. But just somehow they always. I know they beat Barca and all that, but usually it's like a 7-8 goals they get put past. Definitely not interested in the Man City game. But you know, Dortmund and Copenhagen, you got Matty Ryan there in goals for Copenhagen now. So I want to see how he goes, and he's got a juicy group there as well. You know that he is who's in the Dortmund group? They're with Man City, right? Man City and Sevilla.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
So because Haaland's going back to Dortmund. Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be interesting to see how Matty Ryan goes in that campaign leading up to the World Cup. It'll be good to see. And yeah, obviously the PSG Juve game there, but I think PSG get that win.
Sorry. Is Mendy fit for the game?
Well, should be coming out of hospital. Not sure.
Yeah. Does he not have a plaster cast on from his waist up? I'm sure he's.
They're still trying to remove Jared Bowen's foot from his.
That's right. So he's coming out of intensive care now.
His foot was stuck in his goalie top.
Yeah.
God almighty.
I saw the West Ham social came out with the shirts about, get well soon, Mendy. So
I think I would laugh my back off if they come out for the warm up against us on Sunday with them shirts on.
That's genius.
Honestly, that would be genius, and rightly so. I mean, God almighty. Have you seen the size of Mendy? The size of him, and he was rolling around like he was sort of 3-month-old baby born kid rolling around in its pram. Honestly, just ridiculous.
As long as he's
I can't get over it, man.
Yeah, look, it is what it is. Obviously, I mean, we've kind of unpacked that one in a bit of depth. I think. Do
you know what though, Scott? I think Chelsea might leave him out tonight just to try and.
Right.
They might just say, "Oh, he's got a little bit of a shoulder injury or a rib injury," and just leave him out, just to prove a point.
But you know what? In all seriousness, that's the latest. But because of his, let's call it mixed form. I think it was always the plan to give him a rest and get Kepa some minutes anyway in the group stages. So this suits the narrative. Yeah.
All right. Look, we do have another match day of fixtures as well. We'll quickly put them up. I've got 2 more who want to jump in. We've got Robbie here. I think he's in the car, and we've got Declared here. We'll look quickly at the next fixtures. We are going to wrap this stream up because we have gone over. Rob, getting a bit of feedback from you, mate. So I'm just going to mute you till you're ready. But we've got the other fixtures here. Barcelona are in this. I'm low-key looking forward to seeing what this new broke Barcelona do, who have signed more players than anyone else. Paul, quickly, because you didn't get a chance on the other ones, mate. What match are you looking forward to here?
Strangely, Ajax against Rangers, because I follow Ajax a lot, and it's a big match for Rangers, and Rangers have been down and out in the obviously the qualifiers coming into the group stage, yet they've turned it round away from home. So I'm interested to see what they'll do against Ajax. Barcelona Plitzen doesn't. It's just nothing. Liverpool Napoli's a big game, obviously, and Inter Bayern as well. Really good game, that one. But I don't think there's as many standout games there as there is on the Tuesday, to be honest, or tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's a less attractive day. Speaking of things that are less attractive, Robbie, how are you, my man? Matildas with a disappointing loss. Let's quickly talk about these games. Rob, what are you looking forward to, champion? Not much.
Boys?
There he is.
Yeah, there we are. Look, I think the Napoli Liverpool game, mate. I like to, in Napoli, I don't think this will be an easy game, and we've all seen last couple of weeks Liverpool haven't been super great at the back. So I do think Osherman could possibly give him some trouble. Also, that like I said, the Ajax game, I think that'll really be an interesting game, especially with such a depleted squad. Lost their manager, lost 3 or 4 quality signings. So I'd say Rangers, first time back in like over 12 years in the championship, especially when this is on a return leg. That'll be an interesting fixture.
Yeah, fair shout, man. Fair shout. And of course, Declared. You know him, you love him. He's a little bit late tonight. It's getting close to my bedtime, Declared. So we're going to keep it short, sharp, and sweet. 1, do you think Mendy will survive that horrendous clash? And 2, what game are you looking forward to in the Champions League?
Sorry I'm late. Big up, everyone. I raced home to try to jump on.
Good man.
Yeah. Robbie's feedback was due to him smiling too much. I wanted to add that in. He can't grab that smile. But on the Mendy stuff, TTR said he read the VAR rule book, and you should have read the ref rule book too. Keepers are so protected. I mean, the only debate that people have here is the contact. How much contact was there? And that it was soft. There's soft penalties, there's soft high boots, there's soft red cards. We know all this, right? If Bowen was a little bit to the left, right, he would have got his face. Then people will say, well, that was a bit more serious, right? There's another angle that no one saw, right, that is spreading out now. Bowen, the way he had his foot, he had 6 studs showing. Yeah, he had 6 studs showing. That's dangerous play, right? And everyone said, well, he couldn't get the hurdle. Have you ever seen a hurdle race where the back leg drags on and he hits every hurdle? So what Bowen did here,
he tried to jump out the way. He's got to go with studs. You can't.
That's what a hurdle is. Yeah, you try hurdle over something and you don't leave a trailing leg in. That's what a hurdle is. You watch a hurdle race. That's not how it works. Now,
is this guy Graham Souness in disguise?
Hey, that's the rules. You said you read the rule book, Tilia, yeah? That's the rules, yeah? Your only complaint is that whether it was soft or how much contact was there, right? Now, you know that in a high ball challenge, keeper goes up, even if he gets the ball, he gets a slight bump, it's a free kick. Keepers are the most protected players, right? And even if that was on the field, that would be a free kick, a soft free kick, whatever. And now you're talking about the most protected player. So the only complaint that anyone has, that it was soft.
Do you think there was enough contact there for Mendy to roll around like that?
No chance.
No, but the debate is not whether there's enough combat. He did fake it, I'll say that.
That's what swings the referee's decision, though.
No, but hold on, let me ask you. Did Mendy get hit?
No.
Absolutely not.
So your view was Bowen didn't touch him?
No, he flicked him. He flicked him.
And you know what? So the debate now is he flicked him, and how much did he flick him? And then how much did that interrupt on him recovering from the play, whatever, and whatnot? Now you're going through a series of events. Even if that flick is still a free kick. Bowen didn't get the ball. You know what? If Bowen did get the ball, you know what that flick would have done? Penalty.
Yeah, definitely pen. Definitely.
And then you're gonna turn around and say, well, we're gonna say, right, that was soft. That was a soft penalty. So by the rule book, everything is correct. The only complaint is the soft.
What Champions League game are you looking for, bro?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Don't worry about Scott's bedtime. Just go. You should be happy, bro. You want Man United won. You came here with Sunnies. You're leaning back. And now don't rush.
Where's your camera, bro? Where's your camera? We're coming for you next
October. I
want
to see him. I'm dying to see Declared.
Make sure you're here.
Yeah, I'm keeping it private so I can follow Scott for a bit and then reveal myself.
Yeah, I'm going to get in my car tomorrow morning. Declared's going to be in the back seat, I reckon. But Declared, let's talk seriously. You've got Dinamo Zagreb, Croatia, not an easy place to go and play for anybody, particularly a team that's not in the world's best form like Chelsea are. RJ was saying himself that he thinks it'll be a tight match, but is optimistic you'll come out on top. My question to you is, how much are they going to beat you by tomorrow morning?
Well, if you believe that, Scott, I know you're going to wake up early to watch it because you got nothing else in the
I'll be
channel
up,
to watch.
man. I'm always up.
No, look. I agree with RJ because not only we haven't clicked yet, a lot of new players, new backline, but I feel there's going to be rested players in this game, and then going to Zagreb, the crowd, they've got
Silver is
nothing to
definitely
lose.
rested. Yep.
Yeah, nothing's expected of them, so they're going to try to keep it tight as possible, and they're going to make it hard. And our finishing isn't the greatest. I hope Aubameyang gets a run, and this is where he gets his debut goal, because that's the big thing that we're missing. But Chelsea should get the points and go.
And that's a good time to bring up Aubameyang, because I had a question here from Branko. And hopefully, Branko, make sure you've liked and subbed as well. Support the channel. What are my thoughts on Aubameyang joining Chelsea? He's following the illustrious footsteps of Cesc, Ashley, Snake Cole, and Olivier Giroud. Well, you know what? Of course, I'm not looking forward to seeing him there. I liked him overseas in Barcelona because I know that on his day in the right system with the right confidence, Aubameyang can be a deadly striker, and he's still got years in him. So I think it's a really good signing for Chelsea. I wish him well in the European competitions, not in the league. But he's a good player, man, and a lot of Arsenal fans have ill will towards him. I don't. You could see clearly in All or Nothing that he was not given a path to redemption. He made his mistake. He was punished, humiliated. So I just hope he plays some good football for himself, just not too good. So they're my thoughts. But a lot of players that go from Arsenal to Chelsea seem to have a bloody brilliant time. It's the other way around that's a bit of a problem. So
this whole them wanting to win trophies thing, it's annoying. But you can't blame them for having ambition. But
frustrating. But it's been a really it's been great to get you boys on to phone in. Borja, you've been here pretty much on the start of the stream, man. You made an entrance to remember. If you didn't see his entrance, make sure you come back to this video and check it out.
It's a WWE style, mate. That's what
he's ready for home and away. We're going to see him.
The Undertaker, mate. We've risen from the dead after the 2 games.
Oh God!
Back. You know what I mean?
Glazers in forever.
Elimination Chamber. Who's next, bro? Who's next? Let's go, Royal Rumble.
Well, Newcastle
you know you're losing next game, yeah. Like he's bringing back down to earth. That's didn't Ollie do the same thing where he played, this pragmatic football, beat the big teams, and then lost all the other ones.
Different, declared. This is different. There's a vibe. Yeah,
champagne football.
Champagne football.
Hey, did you see our first goal? I don't think Newcastle make 18 touches throughout the 90 minutes, let alone
I'm going to call it goonbag football. TTR doesn't know that.
I can't wait till we roast them monks. I can't wait.
With Alan Shearer,
I'm going to come on this channel and I'm going to give Rob the time of his life. I swear to God.
Hey, he's playing well, man. I think everyone should be worried about Newcastle, just with the underdog factor.
The Swedish Shamak up front. Good luck.
Mate, we'll see. We'll see. No, but look, gentlemen, seriously, from us boys here, it's always a pleasure to be joined by people who run absolutely brilliant channels. The Football Capital is always dropping brilliant content and dropping regular content. So make sure you check them out. The banter's there, but the love is real. Always a pleasure. We thank you for joining us, mate. Glazer's out, my man.
100% all the time.
No, Glazer's in for us.
Well, I'd be happy with him at the moment. But Paul, obviously you run a massive channel, the Tomb Review. It's on just a great thing at the moment, mate. You're pumping out some good stuff. There's great momentum, a great community as well. I'll look forward to hopefully being in touch when our teams play.
Absolutely.
There's always a home for you here when you play against us as well, anytime. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to jump in as well. Make sure you check the Tomb Review out.
Thank you very much.
And Declared, you need no introduction, mate. You are IFT royalty. We love you. Hopefully one day we get that face reveal we're all waiting for. I reckon he's just a dead set stud, mate. He's probably going to be the world's handsomest man. A combination of myself and Paul, I reckon. But until then, Until then, gents, ladies, whoever's watching, take care. Enjoy your football. We will see you back on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. See you later, everyone. All right, I better click end broadcast, shouldn't I? It's way past my bedtime.
Probably.